Welcome to Bhinneka Online Toastmasters Club. My name is Natalie and I'm the SAA for this term for Bhinneka Online Toastmasters Club. Our club is a full online club. From beginning until the end, we will stay online. So before we start our meeting, I would like to share with you some housekeeping rules, and let me show you a video. Can you see my screen? Yes? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we see the screen. Yeah. No audio yet, huh?
No audio, or
Yeah,
there...
no audio.
Oh, sorry. Let me redo it again. I'm pretty sure now is correct.
Toastmasters.
Let me redo it again. Skipping video. Share sound. Share. Should be okay now. Awesome. Are you guys ready to have fun? Amazing. Now I would like to call the newly minted club president for this term. Pipit, are you there? DTM Pipit.
Yes. Sorry. Oh my God.
Yes. To open the meeting. So please welcome distinguished Toastmasters, Pipit Andriani.
Thank you, everyone. Sorry, I was doing the agenda and then the agenda wasn't compatible with my MacBook. But anyway, I was all over the place just now, but a new era has been ushered here in Bhinneka. We have a little bit different tradition, I would say. Normally in Toastmasters, we have 1-year term for Exco, but in Bhinneka, we decided to make it shorter. So every 6 months, we kind of take role. And then last term, I was the VPE. So naturally, this term, I will try my best to be the president of Bhinneka. And then I hope everyone will have fun this year and then not using, thinking Toastmasters meeting as a burden, but this is in contrast. This is a place where you should have fun and then try to let go of your burden outside Toastmasters. Maybe you have awful day at work, or today's Sunday, supposed to be rest day, but you didn't even rest, something like that. But hopefully Toastmasters can be a place of refuge for you and have fun. So probably that is what I can say. And then we have a lot of guests today, and usually we will ask for comment later. So I will be prepared if I call you by the end of the meeting to give us some suggestions and feedback, things like that. But for short, I would like to acknowledge that thank you so much for role takers that are imported from other clubs. even other region, other division, things like that. So we really appreciate your time and your effort to help us today. So let's have fun, everyone. And then let's learn together. Thank you. Back to Tom. Now let's go to Tom. Yeah. Tom is Kayum. Please welcome Kayum.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmasters Pipit Andriani, or well known as the newly minted club presidents of Bhinneka Online Toastmasters Club. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go further into the meeting, let us have a little warm up. Now, as the time goes by for today, I will also share with all of you the 5 Levels of Leadership, which is a book that I am also currently reading about with all of you here today. Now, talking about leadership, most people say, nah, that's boring things that may not for me, and it's something like, I am very lazy to know about it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's okay if it's not fits your shoes at this moment, at this point. Perhaps it will suit your shoes in the future. Now, allow me to get to know about you 1% better today. Who is your favorite leader? Who is your favorite leaders? You may share on the chat box down below, and I will call upon names who are already here and ready to share with us. First of all, I would like to call our first speaker, Toastmasters Fifi. Who is your favorite leaders?
Hi, Toastmaster Koyum. My favorite leader is our current president right now, Joko Widodo.
Joko Widodo. All right. Moving on. Thank you very much, Fifi. I know that person as well for a very good, president, for his good leadership. And maybe you have some similarities with him. Now, I would like to know from our grammarian, Joe. Grammarian, who is your favorite leader at the moment?
I'm Christian, so I would say Jesus is my leader. I've learned many teachings from the Bible, His words, His living that allow us to behave better in this world. So I would say Jesus it is.
Right. Jesus Christ is a very good leader as well to all of his followers, because it guides you to be a better person, guides you to perform better one day to another, and it makes us to follow some sort guides. Great. I know that person too, Toastmasters Joe, but never met him. All right, never met him, and I would love to. Now, last but not least, let me see our who else? Toastmasters, they are our general evaluator for today. Who would be your favorite leaders nowadays?
I think I have one thing in common with Toastmaster Linda. I would say Barack Obama.
All right, Barack Obama. Yeah. I know it's newly minted, president as well. So most of us know him with what have he done and what improvement that he brings to the United States of America. And ladies and gentlemen, every single one that I asked just now has a different person that they mentioned, that they share about. Now keep on going. Tell me what kind of a leaders, or what is the leaders that you like, or who is the current leader that you are actually following, so that we can exchange information, exchange opinions about it. Now, going back into Toastmasters, leadership is a thing for us. We learn about how to lead people, how to motivate them, how to bring them forward, how to improve them 1% better in the future. My friends, I have been with Toastmasters since 2016. And the most thing that I reluctant to take up is the leadership role. And as for this book that I read, it makes me realize that I am a leader even without I'm realizing it. So all of us here is also a leader even without you knowing about it. And one that I could say is that when you reach out to your friend, you lead them, you guide them, that is also a leader's where you know 1% better more than them. And when you lead them into a better, situations, in a better experience, it is showing that you are a good leader. My fellow friend, in Toastmasters at the same time, we learn leadership not only by action, also through your words of affirmation, through your speeches. And for today, that's why we all here gather around together. We will learn and we will know and we will discover what is new on the speaker's plate today. What will they serve us? What kind of speeches that we will do. Ladies and gentlemen, the first sessions that we all going to have here right now is prepared speech session. Lucky for us today.
Oh, sorry, please call the GE to introduce the team. Sorry.
We are going to go there actually, but never mind. Thank you for the reminder. Ladies and gentlemen, let us introduce the role takers, the key players in the room here today to make the meeting more successful. And with that, to lead the sessions, I would like to call upon our Madam General Evaluator, Toastmaster Dia. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Tom, Toastmaster for you. My name is Tia from Surabaya Toastmasters. As CE, I will evaluate everything that take place throughout the meeting. During the meeting, I will take notes on everything that happens and doesn't happen. Also, I will evaluate each participant on the meeting and look for good examples of preparation, organization, delivery, enthusiasm, observation, and performance of duties. At the end of the meeting, I will give my report, but I'm not alone. I'm with my team. We are the Avenger of Toastmasters universe, and I will call upon Toastmaster Joe as our grammarian tonight from Magical Bali.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Joe.
Please introduce yourself and your role.
Oh, with that. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and all our guests. As the grammarian for today's meeting, it is a pleasure to hold this position today. As part of my responsibility for today, will be to report on the usage of language in grammar observed throughout the session, including the usage of the word of the days, including the discourses, and also the proper use of grammar and language during the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joe. Now we move on to our counter, that is Toastmaster Reda.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, yes, that's a counter. I would like to ensure that whatever your speak or you have allocated time while you are speaking in this meeting, the lexical and non-lexicals out of your speech will be counted. For example, the lexical will be so, yeah, what, now, because, basically something like that. Those are the words that actually can be taken out from your sentence, but apparently you use that in your sentence. And then for the non-lexical will be and repeated word, also elongated word, also tongue click, like things like that. So as I already counted, our Tom Quayum is already make Actually, this can be avoided. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have a chance, in whichever your chance here in these meetings, please avoid the lexical and non-lexical error. So you'll make as small as possible you can. And I would like to give the control back to my GE, and I will give the report when GE will be calling me at a time. Thank you, GE.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Renda. Now we move to our ballot counter. Also, our Zoom master for tonight, PM.
Hello, everyone. Using a virtual avatar because we are online club. So this is my new trial in case. So I'm going to be your table topic evaluator / ballot counter. I'm going to report at the end of the meeting who are the favorite prepared speaker, favorite table topic speaker, and favorite evaluators. So make sure you are on time, within time, and you can also vote for yourself. Back to you, GE.
Thank you very much, PM. I almost cannot see you there. All right, now we go to our timer. Toastmaster Gil, please introduce yourself and vote.
Hello, fellow Toastmaster. Today's meeting I take role as a timer. For today's meeting, we have 3 sessions. The first is giving speech, second table topic, and last is evaluation. So my role today is to count every participant to give speech, table topic, and evaluation, and I will share the time for every participant at the end of the meeting. I hope you are all eligible for the time. So prepare your time, and back to you, Madam. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Gil. That's all our introduction from Avenger team in Toastmasters Universe. I will give the control back to our Tom, Toastmaster Boy.
Hey, thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. I may be carried away by the sweetness of the tea, but nonetheless, you all are sweeter than it. Now you still wonder why I am still single, right? I'm so sweet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, you have known our role takers. You have seen them, you have watched them, how, what do they do, and what will they give on the report later on. I would like to share the first level of leadership that I read through the book here. The level of leadership for the first one, the first level, is the position leaders. This is a very easy leadership that we get. For example, if you are the manager, if you are a supervisor in an organization, you are a leader automatically. And this is easy to be replaced. Everyone can be one, and everyone can be as well eliminated. Means that you can somehow be a leader. At the same time, you also can be disqualified to be a leaders. And those are applied in any level of education, in any organizations. And people, the followers for this kind of leaders, or for this level of leaders, they need to follow them because they need to. You know, they, for worse or for good, they need to follow them, because if not, they will going to be given punishment, they will feel demotivated, there may be something wrong will be, you know, going to be given to them. And that's the first level of leadership. I would like to share more about it later on. But before that, let us listen to our first speaker for today. Since our speaker is very ready, I would like to call upon her evaluator, Toastmaster Lai Kok Fook from Empire Toastmasters Club, to spill out the speech objective for our speaker today. Toastmasters like Fu, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Kayum. Today, Fifi is gonna do a project from which the project is connect with your audience. And the purpose of a speech is for her to practice skill needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. For this speech, she is being given 5 to 7 minutes. Fifi, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Let's welcome Fifi with her speech title, How to Become Powerful Woman. Fifi, take it away.
How to become powerful woman. I want to answer that based on fact. If I read from Forbes, imagine this is Forbes. Forbes, you know, right? The global media giving the information about the business. Once a time, they listed the 100 most powerful women across the region from any kind of industrial background. I noticed that the form make interesting because of these women cleverness and toughness. And believe me, you won't be able to see my name on the list. Not yet. Then I asked to myself, how if I won, my name is on the list? I know the process will be going in a long time. Then I found out that these women has 3 in common. First, they have strong self-confidence in making decisions, although they are surrounded by challenges. I did that too. I give you one example. There was a time when our company organized lunch meeting in one of the 5-star hotels in Jakarta. During lunchtime, all office mates ran to the buffet table as if they are fasting for weeks. I look at them, they are so enthusiastic at their food. Unfortunately, at that time, I was in intermittent fasting. So it's quite challenging for me, right? While the others having good food, I look at, oh my God, salad, but too sweet for me. I'm afraid I got diabetes. I look at on the next table, oh my God, we have steak, so many meats there. I'm afraid also, they will give me high cholesterol. So my situation at that time, I was surrounded by challenging works. And my friend noticed about this and informed me that, don't be silly, your diet can start tomorrow. Come on, let's it. Having self-confidence, then I informed my friend, no, I was in intermittent fasting. My window is already closed since 10 a.m. I just had a cup of tea. Although everyone laughed at me, I keep persistent. I proudly said that at that time, I made the correct decision. I didn't join them. Instead of having fancy food, I prefer to have a cup of tea. Okay, back to the comment of this powerful woman in the world based on Forbes version. I noticed comment number 2. That is, powerful women empower the other woman. Women are so powerful. You know that, right? And this power can be multiplied if they can empower the other woman. You don't believe me? I give you one example. When I had a yoga class, there is one pose I remember. It's was just a simple pose. Actually, our yoga instructor asked us just to give this stand up and palm. But I couldn't do it. I won't give up because my friend said, you can do it. You can do it. Just focus, just focus. So my fellow Toastmaster and guests, I was able to do it. That's because my friend empowered me at the time. Comment number 3. We have to have empathy. The world needs empathy resolution, and women are going to make it happen. You know, when my friend told me that, Fifi, you know, my housemate, she so undisciplined. My children also. What did I say? The same. Also the same with my mate. The same with my children. So don't worry about that. My fellow Toastmaster and guests, having learned this, maybe all of you here, not only women, want to show or want to learn you're powerful by doing these 3 things. Having self-confidence, so you are able to make strong decisions. Don't worry about your mistake. No one blame you for your mistake, unless maybe your husband or your children. Okay, number 2, you must be able to empower the other woman. Look at here. You are lucky if you join Bhinneka Online Toastmaster Club. We have Natalie Cahyadi, we have Pipit. I know both of them are very active, giving edu space for public. So they empower the other woman. Number 3, showing empathy. Now, where did you learn? In the Toastmaster showing your empathy. Later, you will find the evaluation session, right? So the evaluator, when giving the evaluation session, will show their empathy. Instead of giving negative feedback, they will show positive and encouragement feedback. If you don't believe me, stay tuned in this meeting and there will be a session for you to watch it. My fellow Toastmaster and guests, we don't have to be afraid or do not want to try how to become powerful woman in the world. You need to try. Just make it simple for your life. Looking at the examples surrounding by you, well, perhaps who know that the Forbes will put you in one of the lists from the 100 powerful women in the world. Who knows, right? As for my case, I'm just a simple person who wants to make it simple. So I just do like that. Have the self-confidence. When I was having intermittent fasting, I don't want to be disturbed by any kind of challenging, but with my friend did to me at that time. And believe me, it happened not only once. Actually, during office meeting or having company event outside, they always teach me, challenge me. My fellow Toastmasters and guests, don't forget to also empower the other. As I said that not only focus about yourself, we need to cultivate our skills and share to the others. By doing this, you are a part of powerful woman in the world. And number 3, as I said, like showing empathy. Join the world's need empathy resolution. Be a part of that. And my fellow Toastmasters and guests, who next? On the next list of Forbes, your name was on the list. Thank you. Back to Tom.
Fellow Toastmasters and friends, let us recite 30 seconds of silence to give compliments, to give feedback, to give congratulatory to our speaker, Fifi, for her speech for today. The 30 seconds starts now. Congratulations, Toastmaster Fifi, for the speech that you delivered today. Listening to it, it empowers me to be a leader. It empowers me to become a better person, better speakers, and in general, to be a better person. With that being said, fellow Toastmasters, the second level of leadership that has been shared by John C. Maxwell in the book here today is permission. At this level, the leaders start to build relationship and earn the trust and respect from their team members. They focus on developing positive interpersonal connections and creating a supportive environment. Leaders at this level of organization, they recognize that leadership is not only just about the position, but at the same time, it is also about the relationship between their followers, from a strangers to a friend, from a boss to become a colleague. With that, fellow Toastmasters, allow me to invite our second speakers for today. It would be Toastmaster Dini. Now, to evaluate her speech for today, we also have our friend from Sudirman Central Business District Toastmasters Club, SCBD Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Hani Wurdanzia. Toastmaster Hani, the stage is yours to spill the speech objective for our speakers for today. Over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Tom, Toastmaster Koyu. Happy morning, my fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. My name is Hani. Tonight, I will be the evaluator for Toastmaster Dini Raudatun. She will deliver in third pathway is engaging humor. In level 1, project 1 is icebreaker. The purpose of this project is to introduce herself and learn the basic structure of the public speaking. Without further ado, let's hear from Toastmaster Dini Raudatun Nuris. Unravel my true potential. Unravel my true potential. Toastmaster Dini Raudatun Nuris. Over to you.
Life is all about journey. At times, you know the answer to all questions in this life. But at other times, you may go far away to find the answer. Ladies and gentlemen, not long ago, my mentor, Natalie, asked me a question. Dini, what is your strength? That time, I was too stunned to speak. The only thing that came to mind was, I don't know, Nat. Yes, you heard it right. After being a Toastmasters member for 5 years, I have seen lots of good speakers. I can't even see through what they are good at. But I cannot see my own self. At that time, I tried to think over this matter with my inner self. Dini, now think about all the things that you have done on stage. Remember all the process. What are you good at? Yeah, I've done a lot. Speeches, storytelling, but I don't know what I'm good at. Come on, think about it again. Well, of course, as my mentor, Natalie had tried to guide me along the way. And once again, she asked me a question. Dini, now think about what comes naturally to you. Like what? Okay, now think about it again. What you can do easily. At that time, the same question hit me. My inner self that, okay, this is my time to remember all the things that I have done. And once again, I asked myself, Dini, what are you good at? Think about it again. And the truth is, I hesitated myself a lot. I even questioned myself a lot. And at that time, after careful consideration, only two things that dominate my thoughts: performing on stage, engaging with people. That's it. That's the passion that fills me with excitement. I still remember how excited I was when I joined my first storytelling competition. Also, I will never forget when I became a theater actor. That was my first time being a new character that was totally the opposite of me. And another unforgettable experience was the Toastmaster Club Speech Contest in 2020. And that was my first time being vulnerable in front of people. Talking about the physical abuse that I received for years. And now the scars and wounds still left rent-free in my heart. And when I think about it again, those moments allowed me to connect with people, to connect with you. And I remember one thing. Through these moments, I can be anyone that I desire. And I can act like a child dancing to any song. And the important thing is, I can be myself when I'm on stage. So now, if you asked me once again, what is your strength, Dini? It is my ability to captivate people with my story. Dear my fellow friends, we know in this life, sometimes we realize our potential quickly. Or maybe we need guidance to unravel our potential. So now, have you found yours? Toastmasters of the meeting.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us have 1 minute of appreciations to our second speakers. You may send messages to the chat box down below, personally, publicly, to congratulate her, to compliment. With that, 1 minute starts now. All right. You may still send the messages, yet the 1 minute is already almost over. I would like to share and move on to the third level of leadership that's shared by the book 5 Levels of Leaderships by John C. Maxwell. The third level, it is called production. Production. This level is characterized by leaders who have gained credibility and influence through their competence and ability to produce results. They focus on achieving goals and driving productivity within their team or organization. Leaders in this level lead by example and inspire others to excel throughout their performance. Do you know anyone here suits that description? Tell me in the chat box down below so that we will have a good leader in Toastmasters or in general in our daily life. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that you are ready to listen to our third speakers, the most awaited speakers. But hold your horses. I would like to invite his evaluator, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Yusuf Chandra, to spill his speech objective. With that, distinguished Toastmaster Yusuf, over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Kayum. Good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This evening, I've got a chance to try to give the evaluation for Toastmaster Rafi, and he is going to deliver his speech from Connect with Storytelling. The purpose of his speech is for the member to practice using a story within a speech, or giving a speech that is a story. The title of his speech will be Try a Little Kindness. The time will be 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Ravi, try a little kindness. Try a little kindness, Toastmaster Ravi. The stage is yours.
If you were given a choice between happiness or kindness, which would you choose? It may be a little tricky. You may find yourself getting caught between two stools. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me share with you a personal yet profound story that may help you choose between these two. I disembarked at San Francisco's International Airport late one night a couple of years back. The flight originated from Kuala Lumpur through Hong Kong, across the Pacific Ocean. So by the time I arrived at immigration, I was cooked, I was tired, I was tormented. No thanks to the whiskey that I had on board. So I misquoted my intentions for visiting US to the immigration officers. They were puzzled. Why should I want to take an hour-plus train ride to South Fremont with an interchange in between when I could have collected the car at the airport itself? So they shuffled me to a more senior officer. And of course, she asked me a barrage of questions, and I had answers for all of them. Do you have enough cash for the visit? Yes, I put the money on the table pump. Yeah. Do you have a return ticket? Yes, here it is, ma'am. Why are you going so far to collect the car? Because it's cheaper outside the airport. Simple as that. Anyway, there, I heard the familiar thumping of the passport with the remarks, "Welcome to the United States of America." Welcome? That's when all my troubles started. You see, by the time I exited immigration and customs, all the outlets, all the shops at the airport had closed, which means what? I could not get a SIM card, let alone small change, to buy the train ticket from the vending machine to South Freeman early next morning. So there I was, slumped into the airport seats, tired, confused, bewildered, with my heart beating, palpitating. What am I going to do? Because next day's program had to work with clockwork precision. I was supposed to pick up a coursemate coming in from Kathmandu at Oaklands later in the day. So I need to organize all these things in time. There should be no delay. Anyway, I tried to catch a couple of wings. Very soon, 4:45, I heard the sound of the roller shutters to the airport train station being rolled up. I got up, brushed my eyes, and gingerly went forward. I met an old man who was opening up the gates. I plucked my courage. I asked him, "Sir, I flew in from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, late last night. I couldn't get small change, let alone a SIM card. Can you be kind enough to get me a ticket to South Freeman?" He looked at me, unfazed. "South Freeman, did you say?" "Yes, sir." He put his hands into his pocket, pulled out some coins, walked up to the vending machine, put it into it, got a ticket, and put it on my hands. And he even walked me all the way to the train and said, "Have a good trip in the States." Before I parted, I told him, "Sir, I will not be able to pay you back. It's all right. Enjoy yourself." So I was on the train and I said how lucky I was. But soon I was ruminating, how am I going to get the Uber from my destination station to Enterprise Street, which is 10 miles away, to collect my rental car? Surely I cannot be lucky twice in a day. So again, the same regimen started, heart beating. Interchange, I arrived in South Freeman, and there I saw a young lad with a bicycle walking out of the same train as I'd taken. This time, I had a little bit more courage. I walked up to him, "Sir, can you please give me 3 minutes of your time?" He looked at me, "Go ahead." "Sir, I flew in from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, late last night. I don't have small change, let alone a SIM card. Can you be good enough to get me a ride to Enterprise Street, because I'm going to collect my rental car?" He asked me a couple of questions to which I must have given decent answers. Soon he whipped up his handphone, keyed in whatever is necessary, and he got a ride to Enterprise Street. The fare, US $8. I told him, "Sir, I will not be able to pay you." He said, "Enjoy sunny California. It's on me." Fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, I was baffled. What is it that makes these men to do random acts of kindness to people who they probably will never ever meet again the rest of their lives? So I spent a couple of years doing research on this, and I stumbled upon the answer, and I'd like to share it with you. According to the course offered at the University of Yale on the science of well-being and happiness, doing acts of kindness, whether deliberate or random, has the propensity to bring you lasting happiness over and above things that we traditionally think brings us happiness. So probably this is what caused these two ebullient men to go about doing kind acts. It kept them happy. So what's there to stop us from doing the same thing? It could be by thought, word, or deed. Agreed, happiness comes in also a multitude of other ways. Having a good network of friends, good exercise, good diet. But hey, being kind to somebody also brings lasting happiness. So I wonder what you choose. If it were me, I will choose kindness, which will give me a lasting happiness. Try a little kindness. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, even before requested a 1 minute of silence, all of you already clapping your hand. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how powerful our speakers are. And with that, let us have another 1 minute of compliments to our speakers, Toastmaster Ravi. Either you want to do a personal chat or public chat, you're welcome to do so. And the 1 minute starts now. Fantastic. Fellow Toastmasters, friend, and visiting Toastmasters all around the world. The level 4 that mentioned by John C. Maxwell on the leadership is people development. People development. On this level of leadership, the leaders, they invest in time and effort on coaching and as well mentoring their followers. They prioritize the growth and development of their team members. They understand the value of developing the potential of their team members and creating a pipeline of future leaders. Now, I believe that Bhinneka Toastmasters been here for a while, and they have a very well lined up past presidents as it is. And looking at that history, itself, I can see our counter already smiling, our current club president already smiling, and our Natalie, even though you are using the artificial intelligence, I know you're smiling behind. So those are that we call as the people development. They create, the leaders create another leaders. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, do share with me in the chat box down below if you have a name, a person that you know who are the people development. Now you say, Kayum, it's already level 4. Now let's share with us the level 5. Oh no. Level 5 is the leaders among the leaders. And I will share you that one on the closing session later on. Now let us have a more relaxation, have more conversation session with our table topic master today. Now, what is table topic master? That is his or her job to explain. Let me welcome table topic master, distinguished Toastmaster Pipit. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the meeting, Kayum. Yes, table topic session is a place where you can practice how to speak without any preparation, and also how to test your courage, because sometimes you make mistakes, particularly in table topic session. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that, but too late, and this meeting is recorded. But no problem. Yeah, Toastmasters is a safe place where you can make mistakes. But I would like to encourage you to also open your camera if you would like to be chosen as the table topic speaker. And then I also prioritize those who have not had any roles yet. Okay? Right. And then to be honest with you, I have only 6 questions. And then let's start immediately. So we have Tasha. Hi, Tasha. Do you want to take the chance? I saw you from STC the last time. STC meeting.
Sure.
Sure. Okay. Timer ready, Gio? Gio ready? Okay. So the topic of the table topic session today is leadership lessons from history. Okay. And then word of the day is cultivate. Cultivate is try to get a new skill, yeah, or try to learn something valuable. It's cultivating something. Okay. So I will share the screen. Leadership lessons from history. Okay. The first, yes, the first leader from history is Winston Churchill. So earlier, Kayum asked, who is your favorite leader from history? My favorite leader from history is actually Winston Churchill. Okay. Now, many of the greatest leaders in history have been workaholics. Okay. Churchill is perhaps the most famous. If you know the Churchill's war room, yeah, in London, during World War II, the lights in his office never turned off, always on. And during 6 years of his prime minister days, he only took holiday for 8 days in 6 years. 8 days in 6 years. So he was a workaholic. The question for you, Tasha, do you agree that to be a great leader, you have to be workaholics? Tasha.
Well, of course, to be a great leader, there's a lot of sacrifices. We all know that. Not only to Churchill, but to every great leader out there, like Alexander Hamilton, and our first president, Sukarno. Well, do we have to be overworked? This is actually quite tricky question. But for me, no, you don't have to. But again, to be a great leader, there are sacrifices. If you find a way to be a great leader without wasting your time, without being a workaholic, that's good. But from I learn in every leader or every founding father, they always become workaholic somehow. Well, you don't have to, but remember, to be a great leader, there are sacrifices that you have to make. Whether you think it's gonna be worth it or not, but if you believe in consistency and if you cultivate, I believe that yes, you can reach it. Sacrifice, definitely you have to, but become a workaholic, it's not wrong. However, again, sacrifices, it's up to you. And there's nothing wrong for being a workaholic. Just remember that every person succeeds, there's someone that help you, and don't forget about those people that help you through all of that. I think that's for me. Thank you.
Yes, it's a tricky question, yeah, particularly today's millennials culture or today's culture. We talk about work and life balance, yeah. So being a workaholic is no longer trending. I think it's a little bit, yeah, contradictory to today's standard, yeah. However, this is only the lesson from history that I got. Okay, thank you so much, Tasha. Now let's go to our next speaker is, let's see, Juan. Juan, I saw him earlier. Juan, yes, do you want to take a chance?
Yes.
Okay. Are you a Toastmasters member yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, so I hope you will be our member soon if you want.
Yeah.
Sometimes people needs to be offered first. Okay. Right, next one is from Napoleon Bonaparte. Okay, a leader's ability to plan meticulously is important. So Napoleon Bonaparte was famous for being a micromanager. basically. So he even was known to check every single weapon that was used in the field, and he had thousands and thousands of soldiers. So he wanted to make sure that the bullet was right, and then the very micromanager, basically. People were surprised that he had time for everything. Now, question for Juan is, how important do you think planning meticulously in your life? How important do you think planning meticulously in your life?
Okay, thank you, table topic master. This is the leader Napoleon Bonaparte was the leader of. No, I mean like he was a revolutionary. He was the one who the prominent figure in French Revolution back in 1789, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, his leadership also has inspired me because he was so brave at that time. He led the French to claim their independence in 1789, 14th of July. Yes, I agree with meticulously is meticulous is the one of the most important aspect if we want to become a great leader. And I think to become a great leader, you have to meticulously planning all your strategy, especially because Napoleon was a general also, so he was always he had to always prepare for everything meticulously for the war at that time. And meticulous in my life, I think I can relate it to when I want to plan for my future to become successful and to become a great leader. I have to plan it meticulously for what I want to be in the future, or how what I can do to become successful to reach my dream. I think, in conclusion, meticulously is one of the most important aspect, so that I can plan everything to reach my dream. Thank you. That's all from me.
Thank you so much. Almost read just now that you managed to finish on time, I guess. Right. So Juan, yes, there are two camps in leadership principles, I guess. Yeah. There are people who think, okay, you just plan the big plans, and after that delegate to your, people whom you lead, things like that. And then a leader cannot be a micromanager. But there are also instances or examples from history that great leaders actually were micromanagers. So sometimes we got confused which one we should follow. Yeah, I guess it depends on how great we are in managing our time, I guess. Yeah. All right, so let's go to the next speaker, which is Rendra. Rendra has a role, but as a counter. So I would like him to give the table topic speaker. The next leader is Shakespeare. Shakespeare was also a great leader. He was a leader of his theater in London, famous theater in London. And then he would spend up to 30 hours memorizing his speeches and constantly practice them to make them word perfect, and would even make up ones he was not about to give, but might be called upon to leader sometime in the future. So he memorized all of his plays, basically. Not only his actors who had to memorize, he himself also had to memorize all of this dialogue. He said it is important as a leader to have good memory. Now, Rendra, How good is your memory? How do you think it affects your leadership skills? How good is your memory? How do you think it affects your leadership skills? Rendra.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, I've been living in a world of the visuals. Well, for you that never knows me myself, mostly visual person compared to the auditory persons or aesthetical persons. Well, yes, being able to identify something, person, or even an animation or imagination as a visuals in my mind is very important. Those are the case always happen if I met many persons in the same types. For example, in Bali conference previous weeks ago, I met a lot of persons exactly in 3 days. I do really remember the visuals. You know what? I forgot like a lot of those names. So I have the way to remember persons by imaginations, the visuals, and the names. And it's supposed to be linked closely. So if I see or I remember the visual of a person, I see the name. For example, Ravi. He's very special in my memory because somehow the R is the same with me, R. See? And he has like lost in Toastmasters like 18 years. So those things that links between my memory and my visuals, it helps. And we have Prabhu also. Prabhu, oh, that's so amazing. The tall guy from Surabaya, the city that I got my bachelor degree in electrical engineering. So those are the way I memory all those things. I translate all the words or sentence into visual imaginations. It helps me. I somehow found difficulties if in a short time I cannot visualize what suit this person or names in my image in my mind. I think that's all, and I give the control back to Table Topic Masters.
Thank you, Rendra. I'm sure you're not the only one. People here in Zoom, if you find it hard to remember people's name, can you please raise your hand? No one? Yeah? Okay, there's a scientific name for it. It's called anomic aphasia. I knew because I Googled it. I have the same problem. I remember their face, I don't remember their name, which is totally, oh my goodness. Okay, yes. So it's almost everyone's problem, yeah? But at least Rendra tried his best by trying to rely on his photographic memory. And he's a photographer, so he should have a good photographic memory, yeah? Okay, now next one is Nancy. Do you want to try, Nancy? Yes. Okay, Nancy. Question for Nancy. Now this one is not a real person. Yeah. Amaterasu, the goddess of the sun in Japan. Yeah. Although impossible to quantify or predict, leaders need to be lucky as well as brilliant. So Amaterasu was the goddess of the sun, right? And then the Japanese people consider themselves as the descendants of the Amaterasu, or the goddess of the sun. And that time they were about to be attacked by the Mongols using fleet or ships. But these ships were destroyed by the strong wind before even reaching Japan. So Japan was already so afraid to be attacked, but without even they land in the land of Japan, this fleet has been destroyed by the wind. They call it kamikaze. If you are familiar with the term kamikaze. So they said it's because of luck. Yeah. Now, do you believe that some people have more luck than others? And how big is the impact of that? Do you believe that some people have more luck than others? How big is the impact of that? Let's see.
Okay. Well, I believe that some people have more luck. This is because I also feel the luck, and I believe that the luck that I have helped me to go farther more than others. For example, I was born in a town, but luckily my dad have to move to the provincial city. So we and the family, we moved also to the provincial city. And by this luck, I could live in the provincial city, which actually have a very different situation compared to the town. In provincial city, I could meet with people who have, let's say, they are more open-minded, and I could access more facilities rather in the town. And by moving in the provincial city, I also can learn to communicate in English, which it really helps me in my study right now, and it gives me more opportunities than others. And from this experience, I believe that actually luck can bring more opportunities to people. And sometimes we can work really hard, but if the other people who get the luck, they might go farther than us. That is my opinion. Thank you.
Yes, sometimes you get jealous, yeah. Some people are more lucky than the others, and it's just human for us to feel jealous sometimes, yeah. All right, so the next one is, I saw Praful already turned on his camera, so he's ready to be the next table topic speaker.
No, I was just wondering if it's a real person or an AI bot.
This one is a this one is a real person. Yeah.
Okay.
Next one is FDR. Okay, FDR, probably the only president of United States who was disabled. Yeah, so he couldn't walk because of polio, I think. Yeah. So that time it was after the Great Depression. So actually the recovery of the Great Depression, the public sentiment that time were very gloomy. Yeah, you know, the Great Depression, a lot of people lost their jobs and then died of hunger and things like that. So he didn't want his people to worry about him. So he actually hid his disability. So there was no documentation that he was actually sick. And this photo was the only one that was available, showing that he used a wheelchair. So no one knew. The public did not know at that time. A great leader must understand the public sentiment. FDR hid his disability, so the people who were crippled by the Great Depression were not worried about him. What's the best way for a leader to understand his or his members' sentiment, or his public sentiment?
Think of a person who was born in 1900. By the time that person turned 14, the First World War had begun. By the time the First World War ended, the person should have been in college. By the time he or she began college, the world was hit by the worst pandemic in 200 years, the Spanish flu. COVID killed 7 million people, Spanish flu killed 50 million people. It almost wiped out 30% of Europe. By the time they recovered from that, they entered the Great Depression, which is probably the mother of all recessions. What we see today is nothing. By the time they recovered from the Great Depression and found themselves a job, the Second World War had begun. By the time the Second World War ended, for someone in India, there was a partition of India. So by the time they could get a semblance of a normal life, they were already 50 years old. So when I think about the hard times like the Great Depression of FDR, I think about all the leaders, the unsung and the unannounced leaders who were born in that era, who just went on with life in complete abnormality, thinking that those are normal days. And before we go on to idolize leaders, I have a note of caution. I said this to Rendra even before. We had several leaders on your posters. Like one of the leaders was, I don't want to name him, he was a pedophile. He slept with his underage niece and then called it My Experiments with Truth. He started a fake ideology which delayed the country's independence by 30 years. And this was confessed by none other than the British. We had one lady there on that poster. She siphoned out 93% of all the philanthropic funds she received. In fact, there was a time when there was beauty contests in India. Every beauty queen had to say that her role model is that lady. Well, later we came to know that these ladies were all trained to say that they idolized this lady if they wanted a chance to win. So a lot of leadership is all about propaganda. So I think the fact that FDR was disabled, with all due respect, of course, he hid that from public view maybe to encourage his people, but we don't know the real intentions. So we should always address leadership with a pinch of salt. In fact, I would go to the extent of saying with a sack of salt, especially in this modern day. Thank you very much. Over to you, Beck.
Oh, okay. Praful, very dark. Very dark.
You asked for it.
Well, very dark, but makes our current situation feels brighter, yeah, compared to 100 years ago. Yes, the Great Depression that time was nothing in comparison with today's. However, with the invention of AI, you know, a lot of kids today, when they grow up, probably don't have jobs. So that's another worry that we have to face. Yeah, I think different times.
And your favorite leader, Winston Churchill, he murdered 7 million Indians. And when
Yeah,
he
I
was
know.
asked about it in a famous interview, in a famous interview in India, he was asked about it. He said, they are a beastly people with a beastly religion. The fact that they all died of famine is their own fault because they breed like rabbits. Quote unquote. Go into Google it.
Yeah. Well, actually, the reason why I like Churchill is because I read it in this book called Talking to Strangers. So he was the only one who could foresee that Hitler was going to do what he was going to do. No one else could predict that. So he was seen as a mad dog because he tried to convince people that Hitler was going to go crazy with all of this, but no one believed him until Hitler finally did it. So only particularly for that reason, and then he was somehow awake before everyone. He was already awake when everyone was still asleep in that time. So you know, I think that's a great quality as well.
Sure.
Right. So let's go to the last. Oh wait, is it the last? Yes, I guess it's the last one. Yes. Who has not had a turn? It's between Agung and Fauzia. Who turned on camera first will be the next speaker. One. Agung, Fauzia. Agung, Fauzia. If not, then Joe. Oh wait, Agung. Okay, Agung.
Agung on.
All right, so let's go with Agung.
Okay.
The next one is from Lincoln. Yeah. Lincoln, a great leader, must have strong nerves. Abraham Lincoln's wife was going mad. Literally, she was institutionalized in a hospital for people who are crazy, were crazy. And he also lost his children. Yeah, his children died during the civil wars. But he managed to pull through during his presidency. So on top of managing this war and leading this civil war in his country, he also had his personal problem. Yeah, his children died, and also his wife was going mad. In your opinion, how strong is your own nerve? And then how to develop a strong nerve? How strong is your own nerve, and how to develop a strong nerve? Agung.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. In my opinion, I don't have a strong nerve like Abraham Lincoln, because in many situations, I think I still need help from the others. So when something bad happen, I sometimes not feel I'm still feel down, and it's take a long time for me to recover. But in my experience, that nerve is very important. So maybe from the experience, I learned that I have to maintain my nerve to develop my leadership skill. Because actually, I don't want to be a leader, but maybe because in my work, I have, because I work in place for many years, and maybe my leader thinks it's time for me to develop my capability to be a leader. They give opportunity to me, and in situation like that, I feel that I have to change my ability to maintain myself and to develop the nerve to develop my leadership, that I can fulfill that my supervisor, that I can maintain my skill leadership, that be a good example for my superior. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, Agung, we're on the same boat. I became the president of Bhinneka not because I want to. Such a bad timing as well. But it's okay. Yeah, we have to follow through. Yes, I share your sentiment. Oh yeah, I like the chat box. Yeah, now it's 9:21 though. It's overtime. Sorry. So let's go to group photo. Yeah, before moving on to our evaluation session. So please turn on your camera, people. Fauzia, Dini, Hani. Okay, Natalie, do you want to take a photo? Natalie has the best laptop quality here, guys.
Investment.
Investment.
Okay. Fauzia, are you here? Dini, are you here? Can you open your video? Oh, great. Hi, Fauzia. Dini, are you here? Dini?
Yeah.
Counting 3, 2, 1. It's okay. No problem. Okay, guys, smile. Oh, it's okay. No problem, Dini. Okay, smile. 3, 2, 1. And then one more. And you can pose as if you are a leader. So pose as if you
What
are.
do you mean as if?
Pose because you are a leader.
We are all leaders of our own lives, at least.
Because you are a leader. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Back to you, Kwayam, our Tom.
Right. Thank you very much, our photographer, I would say, for doing the screenshot just now. Ladies and gentlemen, I did forget to mention before we go further into details into another session, we may need our timer to share the time. So now for Mr. Timer, would you like to share the time for our table topic speakers? With that, over to you. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Timer, for the time sharing in the chat box down below. Shall we proceed with the vote? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we may not.
After evaluation, Kwayam.
Okay.
It's on the same page, sorry.
All right, we still can't even make up who is the best speakers. Yet again, at the same time, we can't choose what is the best leader for ourselves, because why? Everyone have a different perspective on which leader that they really look up to. Now with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come into the important session that I would call it as a supplement to the champion. It can't be the dinner, it can't be the breakfast, it can't be the lunch, because it's not a tangible food. So I call it as a supplement. Whether you want to take it, you take it. If you don't want to take it, it's okay. So ladies and gentlemen, to cultivate this culture, I would like to call upon our Madam General Evaluator to proceed and lead the session. With that, Madam General Evaluator, Toastmasters, yeah, over to you.
Thank you so much, Tom, Toastmaster Koyum. It's time for the evaluation session, and we will start with individual speech session first. I will call upon first evaluator, Toastmaster Live, to evaluate our first speaker, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dia. Do you feel like a superwoman or superman after sharing the sharing by our speaker Fifi about the leadership traits? How many do you found in yourself? I believe we all found some or 3 of them altogether. Thank you, Fifi, for sharing about it. Fifi, there are some points that I like, and there are some points of improvement I would like to share to you. Number one is, I like how you play a sharing about traits of a successful woman that comes with a touch of your own personal story that you share the 3 points we asked, which is self-confidence, empower, and empathy. In all these 3 points, you share a personal touch of your story that cultivate and empower the leader in ourselves. In this point, I would like to have some add-ons, which is you can add on the interaction with the audience to make it a fun session. For example, at the end or part of the story, you can mention, fellow Toastmaster and friends, do you remember the 3 points I shared to you? Or at the end, you can ask them, do you remember what is the magazine that I first hold when I present my speech? Ask them the question, interact with them more, as to feel you are connecting with them all the time, rather than you keep delivering the speech. Move on to see you have demonstrated an ample use of body language in enhancing your speech delivery throughout the session. I see you moving around, show some hand gestures throughout to emphasize some of the points. What we can improve here is I would like to work on the tones, vocal variety, and expression to enhance the point. For example, one is your point when you mention, I'm doing IF in the hotel, looking at my friend doing buffet, having buffet. So in my mind, I was thinking, should I eat or not to break my fast? And here comes my friend. Hey, Fifi, why don't you eat? Why are you still fasting at the moment? Play that role, the vocal and the expression to enhance the point that you want to enhance in your stories. Even like emphasizing your 3 points. Remember what? First one, self-confidence. Number 2, empowers. Number 3, empathy. Use your vocal, depends on the time, high and low, to enhance the point and your facial expression to demonstrate point from the speech. Overall, Fifi, I believe you did very well in your speech. My point improvement for you is in more interaction, use more vocal variety, and enhance on the facial expression to enhance the point. You are good at sharing successful story with examples and ample use of body language in your story. With all that, back to you, General Evaluator Dia.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Live. Next, we will call upon the individual evaluator. Number 2, Toastmaster Hani from STBD. Happy morning. She will evaluate Toastmaster.
Okay. Thank you, Madam GE. I would say congratulations to Toastmaster Dini that she already delivered an icebreaker speech. And by listening to Toastmaster Dini's speech, it was an inspired to us. Start from how find her strengths until she have guidance from her mentors, and she already know that she is the performing and engaging with people. And after we heard from her speech, it was a very powerful storytelling and engaged us because I love during the movement from right and left. And it led, after that, at the end, it led her to through her journey as a power storytelling with the strength is to cultivate people with story. I want to share that I haven't highlight what's her excelled at. First, emotion. I like her speeches. She delivered with comfortables and show by her emotion on speech. Example, by she asking herself what she is good at, and she find out herself. It sounds that she feels so confused and have a question mark. So she used the emotion during the speeches by asking, and she moved like to the side, right to the side, and then she tell us her emotion. And also she give the two situation, how being by herself in the right and how being a mentor in the left side. It's show us to how is it differently by in the two situation conversation, and use it with a different voice. And second, hand gesture. She used the hand gesture effectively. Example, by show her speech to the audience, she saw her hands to the open, something like that. She already stand up her body and she show open her hands, and after that when she tried to thinking, she show us to the closed hand like this. So it's tell to us by the hand gesture and body language that she needs time more to thinking and feel the confused because she show us the closed hand. After that, beside of the Excel, there is another two improvement. First, I want to share is a closing speech. I love during you convey the personal story and also with the conversation through at the speeches delivered with and also with the clear and stable with the pass of the speech. But I noticed before you give the closing speech, if I'm not mistaken, I just heard the message is, we know in this life we realize attention and we need guidance from our potential. And so what's the next? This is the hang, it's not clear and it's hang. So it will be better, you might explain a completely message so we know at the end of the powerful of the message from your speech. I think that's all from me. Thank you, Madam GE.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hani. Now, last but not least, is the third evaluator, CCM Yusuf Chandra. He will evaluate CCM.
Thank you very much. Am I audible? Thank you. Congratulations, Toastmaster Rafi. What an interesting speech with a story of your journey in the US. Your speech, I really feel amused by listening to your story. There are two great things that I love from his speech today. Number one is a very well crafted structure of the speech. Number two, the amazing way of delivering his story. Let me start with the structure. You start with the opening asking question without waiting for an answer. You said you wait until the end of the story. That is a really great thing. So I can listen carefully to his story. The second one, when he moves into the body of his speech, he told us the story of his journey. He experienced anything about his journey in America. He lost the money, he didn't have the coin, etc., etc. It was interesting. And even you close your speech by again repeating the beginning. What will you choose? For me, I will choose blah, blah, blah. Second thing I love from his speech is the delivery. your delivery using very clear voice, and you are using like a roller coaster. You go up with your voice when you said, welcome, that's all my trouble comes. And you roller coaster moving down when you said, they were buzzing. They suffer me from office to office. And even you include a pose, like when you said, can you be kind enough to give me a coin to buy the ticket? It was a very clear posing that I can understand his speech very, very well. The gesture, he moves his hand just enough, not too much, and his eye contact really show when he is surprised or when he's angry or when he's disappointed. It was a clever way of using the eye contact. And also you have got a very great impact to me that telling us the American are nice even to a stranger like you. There are something to be improved to uplift your speech. Number one is if you could move, use a space from one side to the other, it would be greater. The second one is, I see that if you could reduce your speech in some other way to stress the meaning of the story. All in all, you are a great storyteller with great structure, perfect vocal variety, etc. And two things to improve: use of speech and reduce your speech. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you very much, DCF Yusuf Chandra. I believe all of the inputs and feedbacks from our evaluators not only useful for the prepared speech speaker, but all of us here can absorb all the knowledge there. Now, before we move on, I would like to call upon our timer to give the report about time for individual evaluator and all the speaker are they eligible to be voted. Master, you.
Am I audible? Okay. So I will give my report for the speaker. CC 7.539. So because I technical error, I think CC is still eligible. So the second unfortunately not eligible because he has time 7.12. And for the table topic, I note one Rafu is not eligible and Rendra not eligible because the time for Juan is 2 minutes 16 and Rendra 2 minutes 20 and Prabhu 2 minutes 28. And the last question is evaluator. It's only line eligible because evaluator, second evaluator, Hani, has time 3 minutes and 3 minutes 39 and Yusuf 3 minutes 32. I will share all of the time for our participants.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kyo. Now, bell counter, can we launch the poll for the poll? Yeah, Natalie?
Yes, give me a moment. I would like to edit. I think all table topic speakers are available because it's not 2 minutes 30 seconds yet. So let me make a quick adjustment for the evaluator. So Toastmaster
So
Live is
Pak
only.
Yusuf is eligible, yeah.
Okay, Pak Yusuf is eligible. Okay. So, okay, gotcha. Save, and I'm gonna launch it now. Co-host, please vote by sending private message to me. Thank you very much. So all co-hosts, please send your votes by sending private message to me, and the poll has been launched. You can vote in the next 2 minutes. While waiting for the votes, we can continue on with the agenda. Madam G, back to you.
Thank you so much, our bell counter, but I will also give the control to you again as table topic evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering what a Wonder Woman would look like, it's me tonight because I'm wondering what else do I need to do? So now I'm back as your table topic evaluation. I'm trying to keep it short and sweet. We have 6 table topic speakers tonight, and all 6 of them have demonstrated an excellent level of speaking eloquence. I believe that each one of them has different uniqueness, and let me go through it one by one. The first table topic speaker is Tasha. I like your voice and your pacing. I think it was great. Maybe it's because of your mic, but your vocal tone was so nice to hear. And the pacing was great. You speak not too fast and not too slow as well. I feel like from the middle part of your speech, you got derailed off the rails. Maybe you're still thinking of what to say next. Hence, your eye contact also going down. So my suggestion is, even if you are not sure, you can speak while thinking. Just make sure that you don't look like you're unsure and maintain the eye contact. The second table topic speaker is Juan. Juan, I heard that you are not a Toastmaster member yet, but I can see that you were trying to answer the topic, and I noticed that you answered on point. You try to elaborate or explain what the topic was, and then you connect it with yourself, and you try at the very end, you did a good use of in conclusion. It is a good signal to notify the audience that that was like the closing of the speech. One tip for you, especially because you're new in Toastmaster, is I noticed that you mentioned meticulously more than 4 times. I was wondering if you are unsure of what meticulously means, or you just felt like it's something that is pop up in your mind because it's part of the question. You can always change the word into something that is more familiar to you. For example, the topic was planning meticulously. How does planning meticulously contribute to success? I believe that if we plan carefully, it will also contribute to our success. So you can always change the words. Using similar words also acceptable. And if you are unsure about what the word means, you can always ask the table topic master to clarify. It's totally fine. Good job. Keep coming back to practice for more. And the third table speaker is Rendra. Rendra, the first part was good. You always started off strong with good energy and on point story and explanation. What I like is you try to link it with the recent events. So every one of us would feel like, oh yeah, I know that event. You mentioned district conference. I noticed that the end was rushed because maybe you're short on timing. So the elaboration for the topic was not comprehensive. I feel like when you're trying to do a little bit more on storytelling, the elaboration on a topic got left off. When you're trying to explain more on the topic, you didn't really put a lot of story. So my challenge for you is to balance it out, to balance the story or the illustration and also the elaboration on the topic for you and also for the audience. Well done. Next is table topic number 4, Nancy. Nancy, I don't know if you're a Toastmaster member or not. Are you a Toastmaster member, Nancy?
I am not.
You're not, okay. I would like to give a special kudos to you because among the 6 table topic speakers today, I noticed that you are the only one who has a very clear structure from beginning until the end. When I listened to you, it was very clear. Your point, your opening, your body, your conclusion or your closing part, I can directly map it out on my head. And I also like how you included personal story in your topic, in your response to the topic. My suggestion for you is that you can always engage the audience by asking them a question, because the topic is about luck, right? You can always start by asking, ladies and gentlemen, raise your hand if you think you are lucky. Or you can add that in the middle of the story or of the speech. I think I'm lucky. How about you? Do you think you are lucky? Even though it's like one sentence, just by asking that question, you directly engage the audience and you build the connection with them. I think it will make your speech even more engaging. Good job. Table topic number 5, Praful. Wow. When I listened to you, I thought it was a great example of putting history in practice. What I noticed is that throughout your answer, I could sense your eloquence and intelligence. It was very coherent and factual. It was really good. I suggest that you do more table topic and compete next year on a table topic competition. I think you will be good at it. For this topic, you didn't really answer the topic because the topic or the question was a little bit different than what you are trying to express, but it's okay because the message was loud and clear. In terms of if you want to compete in a contest, this is one thing that you need to be careful of. Your message was great, but it's not really directly linked to the topic. So there's like a fine line between having a clear message and also having a quite clear message that directly linked to the topic. So when you practice more, you will build awareness of what kind of angle you should go into when you're responding to the topic. Keep it up. And last table topic speaker, Agung, I really appreciate your honesty and also the story you shared. It's not easy to admit that, whether you don't really have the nerve. I just recently admit that to myself. So I feel like your speech was very relevant for many of us, and that's always a good starting point. I think for you, Agung, you need to practice a little bit more in terms of the delivery. You have a good content, but because maybe you're not so sure or not so confident, the pace of your speech becomes a little bit monotonous. So when you vary your vocal, you can speak with more spirit, more conviction around the end. And then in the beginning, you can speak a little bit more softer and slower because you're trying to share something that's, quite vulnerable for you. Combine that, practice it more. So one exercise that you can do is, do you have children or niece or nephew, Agung?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So when you tell bedtime stories, what do you do?
Yeah, in different pace of yes.
Yes. So that's like an easy exercise for you to do. You can tell bedtime stories. It's not the bedtime stories that matter. It's the practice of applying different tone, different pace, and also different pitch, it will help you when you deliver your speech. You can't really see the correlation right now, but the more you practice it, I also started the same. I started to do it when I just read out like Hansel and Gretel, ooh, and I don't have any kid or nephew and nieces around me, so I look like a Dorai or I look like a weird person doing that, but that's fine. It's the practice that counts, right? So Agung, don't worry, just keep going. You're on the right track. One general tips for all of the table topic speakers and all people in this Zoom room, sorry I take so much time, is like Stephen Covey said, begin with the end in mind. So when you want to answer table topic question, have the end in your mind. This is my message, like this is one sentence. And then from there, it will guide your path. Okay, that's all from me. Back to you, GE.
Thank you so much for the thorough evaluation for table topic session. Now I will call upon our accountant, Toastmaster Rendra, to deliver his report.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm opening my slides. Can you see the slides that I am sharing to you? Okay, you can do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize if somehow I cannot count off yours lexical or non-lexicals. Maybe my ears is not that sharp. However, during my several hours and minutes, I have counted that Natalie already made 10 all the lexicals and 10 for the non-lexicals. So she made 20. To our new president, Bhinneka Online Toastmasters, she has made 18 for the lexicals and 4 for the non-lexical. So she has made 22, all those combined. For Kwayum, he only made 1 for total, both of them. That's amazing. For Dia, it is amazing. You've made 0. That was super. For Jobrata, you've made 6 for the lexicals and 10 for the non-lexicals. For Joe, you made 0. That was super. Okay. Well, I do apologize myself. I didn't count myself. And Lai superb. He didn't mention lexicals. I mean, made a lexical on lexicals error in accounting. For Honey, you have made 5 lexicals and 11 for the non-lexicals. And then Toastmaster Yusuf, only one for the lexicals and all the total. And Toastmaster Vivi, another superb, 0 lexical and lexicals. Toastmaster Dini, only 2, 1 for lexical and 1 for non-lexicals. And Toastmaster Rafi, superb, another superb. Toastmaster Tasha, only 4 for the non-lexicals. Juan made 3 for the lexicals and 22 for the non-lexicals. Well, me myself, I cannot count myself, to apology. For Nancy, it's 8 for the non-lexicals. Toastmaster Praful, superb, 0 for both. Toastmaster Agung, 2 for the lexicals and 10 for the non-lexicals. So according to my Excels, in the lexicals, most of us using so were counted like 24 times. It's the most lexicals that we have mentioned during this meeting. And number 2, there are 2, yeah, and so on, 7 times, and then 7 times. Now for the total lexical has mentioned 47 times. Now we are going to the non-lexicals. As usual, was counted 67 times. And 7 times. So is always the most made by every individual in our today meeting. Okay, now the conclusions, as I so far mentioned, that Toastmaster Pipit made the most lexicals and Toastmaster Jobrata make the second of the lexicals. And for the non-lexicals, Toastmasters, I think Juan not yet Toastmasters, Juan made 22, and then Honey made 11. So all combined lexical and non-lexicals, Juan made 25 for the most, and then our beloved presidents made 22 as the second one. So ladies and gentlemen, I think it's all the report that I've made. I do apologize if I somehow didn't count yours. So I think this is all that I can share to you. For those that made a lot lexical and lexical, never worry. It is Toastmasters that people growing, and you always have time to grow. And in Bhinneka Online Toastmaster, we can grow together. I get the control back to GEG. Time is yours.
Thank you, Accountant Toastmaster Rendra, for doing your job very seriously. Now I will call upon our bell counter again for launch the pool for prepare speech speakers. That's my BTM.
Already launched. Feel free to vote. Sorry, Rafin, it was your name got erased during the edit session. Back to you, G.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, bell counter and Natalie. Now it's time to hear the report from our grammarian, Toastmaster Joe Filoria from Mexico Bali.
Hello. As a grammarian for today's meeting, I would like to present my report on the usage of language and grammar observed throughout this session. I'd like to begin with the word of the day. The word of the day selected for this session was cultivate. I am pleased to report that several speakers successfully incorporated this word on their speeches, demonstrating their adaptability and their determination as well. This word was pronounced 5 times by our speakers in the whole session. But what does it mean? What is the meaning of this word? Basically, cultivate has several meanings, but its core definition revolves around the act of nurturing, developing, or promoting the growth or something. Now, in terms of the grammar and language usage, the majority of the speaker demonstrated excellent grammar and language skills, effectively conveying their idea, which is the main purpose of communication. However, I still noted a few sentences that could have gone better. For example, there's a saying, for worse or for good. So the word good in this context should be better, where the correct wording is for better or for worse. In the corrected version, for example, the phrase reflects the commitment to support and stand by someone regardless of the circumstances, let's say. Another sentence that I noticed was, I want to give up, when the speaker was talking about something that happened to her in the past. So there's always should be an agreement in the verb tenses when we're speaking as well. Also, the use of woman instead of women. When we were talking, when the speaker, for example, was talking about women as a general concept. So you're talking about all the women. So instead of the singular form, it should be the plural form. Another mistake I found was by imagination. In this case, the sentence should have been by imagining, because you are trying to remember something, figuring out in your head. So by imagining that what you wanted to imagine comes better than by imagination. I memory instead of I memorize. And the last one I would like to highlight is a sentence that I heard that was, I haven't highlight. Probably I didn't hear the termination of the word, but anyway, I wanted to bring it because this is a construction that sometimes can be confusing. For example, is that the sentence was, I haven't highlight instead of I haven't highlighted. So the verb highlight is conjugating the past participle form, highlighted, to align with the auxiliary verb have in the present perfect tense, right? So this construction basically indicates that the action of highlighting has not been completed yet or has not occurred up to the present moment where you are right now. In conclusion, I want to express my appreciation to all participants for their commitment to effective communication and language proficiency. I encourage everyone to continue their dedication to improving their language skills, exploring new words, and striving for eloquence in their speeches. So thank you. That was my report as a grammarian. Back to the AG.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Joe, for enriching our knowledge, especially for us who is not our mother tongue. Now, it's time for me as general evaluator to deliver my report. First, I would like to start with the meeting preparation. The Zoom meeting room was open earlier. Everyone come before the meeting. Guests and visiting Toastmasters were welcome upon their arrival, and also attendants were well informed about the housekeeping rules using video. Excellent. I like the music. It's like give us the spirit to join the session. For the meeting started on time, and all roles were filled. Members diligently took vacant roles. Even a member took a lot of roles at the same time. And prepared speech speaker slots were fully filled. That's amazing. And the 1 minute time to appreciate each of prepared speech speaker. I've never seen it before in any other Toastmasters club meeting except in the conference. Now I would like to appreciate all of the role takers, amazing one, Natalie as the master, ballot counter, TPP. You opened the room earlier, explain your roles clearly. You use easy method for us to pull and correct it right away for the start. Students for taking that role. Our Akanda Toastmaster Rendra, you explain your role clearly. At the beginning, you show us the script so we can be aware of it. You also delivered the report easily to understand for us using that spreadsheet again. One room for improvement only for me that you can add tips for us to how to decrease the pause fillers. Examples like we can pause and then slow our speaking, tone down our volume, etc. Our timer, Toastmaster Geo, you explain your role clearly. You inform the time report of every session, the chat box, and correct it right away when the report time is not right. And you also delivered the report clearly at the end. Toastmaster Joe, as our grammarian, you explain your role clearly. You deliver the thorough grammarian report, enriching our English, what is it? Why I'm like knowledge and room for improvement for you. Only remind us once again and again for the word of the day. Next, for our Tom, Toastmaster Koyum, you choose the right theme for our meeting tonight that related to our Toastmasters event as Bhinneka Online Toastmaster also got new. Next, go, and then you engage to your participants. You asking us questions at the beginning of the meeting. You explain the theme thoroughly as well from the start, and in each of every session, you also use properly your book as a source of your thinking. And for our topic master at the MPP, you also explain your session clearly, the topics related to the meeting thing, and you use slides so the table topic speakers can understand easily. But not only that, you also help them to understand more about the topics by explaining. And then you encourage participants to join the session, especially for the guests. And also you reminded table topic speakers to use the word of the day. All in all, my summary is the meeting ran smoothly and lively. All participants were actively involved. All attendants were engaged each other in chat box. Wonderful performance of prepared speech speakers. Kudos to that. Insightful feedbacks also from the evaluators and interesting session in several topics. Even the conversation continued to the chat box. One room for improvement. This is not a mature thing, but just don't forget to do group picture according to the agenda. That's all from me. I will give the control back to the top.
Ladies and gentlemen, now before we go further, there is something in the chat box down below saying about that we are exceeding the meeting time. So to make everybody satisfied, to make everybody feel happy, put 1 in the chat box down below if you agree with another 5 to 10 minutes of staying back in the meeting so that we can conclude the sessions very well. Okay, with that, let's go. We have Grab Mary and Joe saying yes. All right, we have 3, 4, 5. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Rendra, for your another 30 minutes. Means that you're going to speak more than the others. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking about the theme, allow me to say that the credit goes to our club president, Toastmasters Period, because she is the one who provided the theme, and I am the only one who I could say execute the meeting and find what kind of material that should I go for tonight. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, and I will say for the last one, the level 5 of leadership by John C. Maxwell. This is the one that I would like to share with you that I see a lot in Bhinneka online Toastmasters, but I don't want to reveal them. You know, later if I reveal them, they will say like, follow me. So cannot lah, guys, cannot, yeah? If you want to follow them, you may. If you don't want to follow them, it will be okay. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, the level 5 of leadership is the pinnacle level. All right, okay. Let me, okay. The pinnacle level, the highest level of leadership. The pinnacle is attained by the leaders who have not only achieved a great personal success, but have also a significant impact on others and the organization as a whole. And for that, these leaders create a lasting legacy by developing new leaders, promoting a positive organization culture, and leaving a mark on the industry or community. Ladies and gentlemen, can you have a figure who is in your head, those leaders that I say there is here, the pinnacle leaders? If you have, get it to yourself. Yeah? You don't have to mention them. You don't have to give them the 30-second of spotlight for tonight. Now, with that being said, to conclude, it is important to note that these levels are not rigidly sequential, and the leaders can exhibit qualities from multiple levels simultaneously. However, progressing through this level is typically represent a growth in leadership effectiveness and impact. As our Toastmasters organization, for those who are new to Toastmasters, in July, our District 87 has changed their leadership from the old leaders to the new leaders. And let us here tonight give support to them in what we can, or what we have, in order for us to be a greater leaders at the same time. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all from me as the Toastmasters of the meeting. I would like to say thank you to be, here together with me and listening all the wow from me, even though that I am the only small person in this bigger room. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I know you waiting for the winners. Allow me to give the session back to our ballot counter to give the announcement. Toastmasters Natalie, over to you.
Thank you very much, our TOM, Abdul Qayyum. Can we give him another round of applause? Thank you very much. All right. To make this session quick, I'm just gonna announce it right away. I would like to ask my friend Rendra, can you help taking the picture of the winner, please?
Will do.
Okay, so we will start from the opposite way right now. So we're gonna announce the best evaluator first, and the best evaluator or the favorite evaluator for tonight's meeting is Toastmaster Lai Kok Fook. Yes, congratulations, Lai.
Wait a minute, take photos.
Yes, add this to your collection among so many other certificates. Rendra, on your mark.
Yes, I've done it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next is the best or the favorite table topic speaker. And that person is, drumroll, Toastmaster Rendra.
Oh, mamma mia.
It was a close race, just one vote difference.
Let me take photos of myself.
I
Yes,
can do it, I
yes.
guess. I don't know. Oh, you can, Jaren? Okay.
I can do this. It's very easy. Okay, I've done it.
Done.
Okay, great. So Rendra just did his selfie. Anyway, last but not least, the best speaker or the favorite speaker for tonight's meeting is TTM Rafrindan Subramaniam. Congratulations, Rendra. The picture, please.
3, 2, 1. Superb.
Awesome. And if you're in our WhatsApp group, the weekly Bhinneka meeting, that this picture will be sent there. So make sure you're there. Thank you very much. And to close this meeting, I will pass the virtual stage to our club president, DTM, Pipit Andriani.
Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking till the end. We're really sorry. This is not in our nature to be late. Usually we have Ben who rush us to the end of 8 minutes exactly sharp. Since he's not here today, so we're kind of a little bit laid back. Sorry, I'm really sorry. But I would like to give one chance for our guest to give a comment from today's meeting. So who is okay, visiting Toastmaster Agung, do you like to give feedback for our meeting today?
Thank you, Toastmaster Pipit. Thank you for this opportunity can join this meeting. Actually, I'm from Ministry of Finance, Toastmaster. I get the information from, I forgot, maybe Dini, when she comes in the meeting last Friday, she become grammarian and promote this club. So I joined this meeting today. I think today's meeting is enriched me about the meeting because I joined Toastmaster still new. So maybe there are many evaluate from this meeting that enrich my knowledge. Thank you for this opportunity and keep in touch. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Agung. Oh my God, Agung is from Ministry of Finance. And then he talked about his job earlier. Oh my God, I hope Bu Sri Mulyani not watching us, yeah. Bu Sri? Okay, so last one, sorry. I tried to find Juan earlier, but he just turned on his camera. So Juan, do you want to consider becoming a member? So what do you think about our meeting tonight?
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. I think about these meetings tonight, I personally really like to talk about leaders, I mean like history, because I was actually studying political science in Universitas Indonesia. So I think, yeah, for the topics today, yeah, I really, I mean like it's so related to my study background about leaders, countries, many prominent figures of leaders, like just as like in table topic session. I mean, yeah, I'm really glad joining today's meeting. Actually, this is my first time in this Toastmaster Club, Bhinneka Toastmaster Club.
How did you
And
find that? How did you find that?
I found from Instagram.
Oh, really? Oh, it
Yeah.
works, guys. I really thought no one saw our Instagram.
Finally,
Send me
after
good
20
job.
years,
Why?
after my head getting
Yeah,
longer, you found out.
you find us through Instagram. Yeah, thank you for the motivation. I will ask. I will give. I will tell Seni, our PPPR, who posted our meeting, and also Natalie, who the Wonder Woman who made the poster and stuff. Thank you so much, Yuan.
Yeah.
I really hope you join us next time. It's another 2 weeks, but 2 weeks comes by so soon. So please remember. Actually, usually it's the first and third Sunday. Everyone, if you want to join Bhinneka, is first and third Sunday. Only this month is an exception. Second and fourth Sunday this month. Okay. So hopefully you want to join us. We talk a lot about politics. We talk a lot about history. We talk a lot about other people as well. All right. So without further ado, yes, thank you so much for taking up till the end. Already 2016 on
Thank
the clock.
you.
So I would like to close the meeting officially, and then see you next 2 weeks, people. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President, and all the presidents on board.
Okay.
We have all the ex-president ladies here. I'm happy to see the all ex-presidents attending this first meeting.